Good evening. I am here to welcome all of our viewers to the Chico Steak podcast, Life Sketches. And today I'm very excited to be introducing to you Josh Petersen, a young man who grew up here in the Chico area. So Josh, so good to have you here with us this evening.
Hi.
Hi. It's a good thing we're saying hi. Hey, tell me a little bit about what it's like growing up in Chico, California.
It's really nice here. There's not that many people here, but yeah, there's enough for stuff to be working and people to participate. I really prefer small towns, not like New York or anywhere big. So I really like to be out in the country, kind of by myself with a few other people. And that's why I love Chico.
So tell me a little bit about your family, Josh.
I'm the oldest, and my mom is a teacher, my dad is an accountant. I have three siblings, Charlie, Liam, and Paisley. And I also have tons of other family here. We all enjoy hanging out, doing fun stuff together, swimming, etc., all that good stuff.
What's it like being the oldest in your family?
It's a bit difficult at times. It has its perks and all the others, but it's difficult because they're always looking up to you. It's like you have these expectations, and at times it can be hard, but then also your parents, they let you have more free will, and they'll let you stay up a bit longer, or you can go do this. But then also, like I was just saying, your siblings are always looking up to you, and if you do something wrong, eventually they'll be doing the same, which then you're in trouble for that.
Do you feel the burden of that responsibility of being the oldest?
I do, yes. It's quite hard at times.
Mm-hmm. And what is your relationship like with your siblings?
Each one of them are very different people, so I have to have different relationships with them. But I would say with Charlie, she's the typical teenager you have. She's 14, so sometimes she can be a bit sassy or, talk back, but I still love her. I like to talk gossip with her or my life with her because she enjoys that. My brother Liam, he loves Legos, so do I. We both love playing basketball, and so we're both very competitive, and we like to get at each other.
And you were telling me that Liam has a special game today?
He does, yes. He is currently in a baseball playoff game, and I hope he wins this, and I wish him the best. And then my sister, Paisley, the youngest, we kind of treat her as the queen, and she acts like one as well. We do what she asks, and we don't question it. If she needs her book to be read at night, one of us has to do it. Don't fight about it, and we're okay with that.
Uh-huh. And I think you told me she makes you color with her.
Yes. If we're on long road trips or if she's bored, someone must color with her, and it's often me.
Are you her favorite?
Yes, but don't tell my siblings that.
We won't until they watch this video,
Yes.
and then they'll all know. How about your relationship with your mom and dad?
They're two very different people, but my dad, he enjoys yard gardening and mowing and all this lawn keeping stuff, and I enjoy that as well. We both love going out and just getting the job done, whether it be mowing, edging, or sanding the deck. We're very responsible and get it done people. My mom, she loves cleaning the house, not the lawn, but so sometimes we just both go clean the house, and because we both like cleaning. I like cleaning my room and all that. She likes cleaning the kitchen. So sometimes we're just a duo, bam, bam, do this, bam, do that, and it's fun with that.
So it sounds like you come from a family of workers. What do you do for relaxation?
It's kind of hard to relax sometimes for me, and it's not like I don't have time to relax. It's just kind of who I am as a person. Sometimes I unnecessarily feel stressed, and I always feel like, I gotta be doing something to be productive. But for myself, it's just doing absolutely nothing. Like sitting there, either playing video games or just sitting there on the couch, doing absolutely nothing is somehow relaxing for me.
Uh-huh. And what's your favorite video game?
Well, it's changing a lot because there's always new video games coming out, and this is the best game ever, I say, and then next year this game comes, I'm like, this is the best game ever. Currently, I am playing Jedi Survivor. It's a Star Wars game. It's very fun, but there's a new game coming out called Spider-Man 2, which I'm looking forward to. So we'll see if it changes.
As are many of my nieces and nephews, so I totally understand that. Favorite family trip that you've been on?
One, this is a long time ago, but we all went to New York, Washington, D.C., and where? I just forgot. New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. We all went out like 2015, I think, and I went with all my family, extended family, and we visited Statue of Liberty, White House, and Liberty Bell, and for 3 weeks. It was very fun. One memory that we'll always talk about in my house is the time that I went to the White House. We left very early, like 3 a.m., so my stomach was feeling weird for some reason, and I had a bad breakfast, and then I went into the White House and I threw up in it.
You threw up in the White House.
Yes.
Did you make it to a bathroom? Did you throw up on the floor? What happened?
Straight on the ground. Like, right there. Just like, oh no, it's happening. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then, like, all these people had to take me into, like, the back room and, like, get me cleaned up.
Did the Secret Service come after you?
I don't think so, no. But they did give me some M&Ms that were, like, special looking that had, like, the White House on it, and it was really cool. I suggest people try it. It's pretty cool.
So the whole thing to going to the White House is you should actually just vomit and then you get special treatment.
I mean, that's
Did
what I
you
did.
save the M&Ms?
No, I ate all of them.
Of course you did. You are 16 right now, which means you just finished your junior year at school. Can you tell us a little bit about your junior year and the school that you go to?
I go to PV, Pleasant Valley High. Just finished junior year, and some of my favorite classes this year were probably history or sports medicine because I really like history in general. It's kind of just learning about the past, learning about how we can not screw up in the future. And it's kind of cool how it all ties together, like especially like church history with like real history, and just it's interesting how it all works together. And then sports medicine because I play sports, and it was cool to learn about like the body and like, oh, I hurt something. How do I treat it? Oh, I know how, or like how ankles work and all that.
And you said that you do sports. What sports do you do?
I am currently doing basketball and swimming. I've done basketball my whole life practically since I was like 5 or 6, so I've gotten really familiar with that sport. But swimming, this is my junior year was my first year doing it, and I did it because I wasn't doing football, which I did freshman and sophomore, so I was trying something new, and I really enjoyed it, and I'll be doing it next year as well. And it was just a different pace of everything. It was an individual sport, which I have never done, and it was just more like individual, which I liked.
And do you feel like you've really improved?
From the beginning of the year, when they kind of had like tryouts or like, I want you to do 500 yards or something, not something like that, I could barely do it. And by the end of the year, I was a lot better. And I think everyone knows that. And I think that's why I'm still doing it, because I think I can continually get better.
That's awesome. So you've learned how to really work hard at something and improve yourself.
Yeah.
That is great. And your next year, your senior year at high school, what are you looking forward to?
I think just being able to do what I want, because usually at PV, you have to take 8 classes. This is new. But since I took a lot of classes my previous years, that means I can take 6 years. I can take 6 classes instead of 8. And that means I'll have 2 free periods, and I'll be able to leave school early, come school later, and I'll be able to do what I want with those times. Go to the gym, just sleep in, and maybe also another thing would be like hanging out with friends, because senior year, it's last year, do what you want because you're about to go into college and all that.
Yep. Now, I don't think you're going to be able to sleep in. Maybe take naps, because in the mornings,
You're right.
You want to explain what you do to everybody every morning here in California, because we're not like a Utah school. We're a California school. What do you do every morning?
So I attend seminary every morning. Wake up. School starts at 8:30, which is a bit later than other schools, which it is what it is. So seminary starts at 7:10, where it goes to 8:10. So you have enough time to school. So I usually wake up around 6:40, which gives me plenty of time to go there, get ready and all that. And seminary has just been really fun. Done it 3 years, doing it 4th, want to graduate. And when I was talking about trying to sleep, and I was trying to say, oh, go to seminary, try to go home quickly, get some sleep, and then I'll go to school.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
And what will you be studying next year in seminary?
I believe the Book of Mormon because this last year we just did New Testament, and that's what's next. I'm really looking forward to the Book of Mormon because it's something it's just always caught my eye the most out of all of them. It's just like I know the most stories out of it, and like it's just something I grew up the most with.
And how has seminary helped you build your testimony of the gospel and your relationship with your Savior?
Well, I think by going every day, I think by attending seminary every day, it's just kind of like studying for any other class. Like if you keep studying every day, eventually it'll get in your head. And same with seminary. If you go seminary every day, I think eventually you'll start to apply the gospel and actually be able to testify it. And I think that's what seminary has done for me.
Mm-hmm. And I assume that your family has also played a large role in your spiritual growth.
Yes, they have a lot. My mom and dad are very good examples to me. They make sure we say nightly prayers, morning prayers, or like lunch prayers, or all the time we eat. And they just set very good examples. We like to have family on evening most times, and they're always good examples to me.
That's wonderful. And we live in a time period where religion isn't necessarily a major part of people's life, and certainly not young people. How has having a relationship with your Savior Jesus Christ helped inform your decisions and helped you through life? And how are you going to maintain that close relationship that I can feel you have now?
Well, I think just by, trying to live the gospel, I think it's easy to say, oh, you believe in it, or like, yeah, I can testify, but also you have to live it. And I think that's what I was saying about my parents in seminary. I think by being able to keep this good example at school and around my friends, I think by all that, it's helped me strengthen my own testimony while also helping other people.
That is wonderful. Um, you are on the cusp of some major changes in your life, right? I mean, your senior year, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
What is the post senior year plan?
Well, it's all really up in air, but one thing for sure I know I want to do is attend my mission when I turn 18. So after that, I'll probably want to attend Butte and then maybe hopefully go to BYU after. Like I said, it's really up in the air. It can change within a minute. But my mom went to BYU Hawaii. My dad went to BYU Idaho. So I was like, oh, go to BYU Provo. That's be kind of cool. But then, something might change.
And then try to get the trifecta there, all the BYU's covered.
Yeah.
Can you explain to people what Butte is?
Well, truth be told, I don't know a lot about it, but all I know is it's a free not college, but
It's a junior college?
Exactly, thank you. It's a junior college where you can get these credits that are mandatory done and be a lot easier because they're free, and then you can go to the college which you really want to get the learning you want, major.
Yeah, the upperclassmen work done.
Exactly.
Excellent. And you said you want to go on a mission right away when you're 18. Is part of the plan with those 2 extra hours off your senior year to do some work and start saving?
Maybe not that during those time because it's very short periods of time. But I do plan on, my mom and dad have helped with my mission savings. I still have this tiny little, not tiny jar anymore, but it's a jar full of these quarters and coins that my whole life I've just been dumping coins into for my mission. And it's probably not a lot, but it's something, and I probably have more money other places. But, I probably should get a job. I probably should do all this stuff, and I probably will.
Hey, I'm not here to tell you what you should or should not do. Just asking questions. And I think it's lovely that you've been gathering coins all your life. I think that have that visual representation of your mission in your life is a really great idea. So, you talked to me before about the Peter Bows?
Peter Bows.
Peter Bows. Tell us a little bit about the Peter Bows.
So my last name is Petersen, and my uncle and all his family, their last names are Acebos, and we're very close. They live here, like I was saying, and so sometimes we like to all hang out at once. I go to their house, or they come to our house, and we like to play card games, and we call it Peter Bow Night because you mix the names. That's Peter Bow. and either we watch movie or maybe sometimes spend the night. That's very rare, but it happens. Or we play card games, eat pizza or something fun. It's a very good time.
What are some other traditions you might have? Maybe something you do with your father or family vacations that you guys go on regularly?
With my father, well, he has a huge interest in cars, and I kind of do too because of our grandpa. Well, my grandpa, his dad. He owns a 1970 Plymouth Cuda, which is a very nice car, very kept well. So sometimes we like to go to car showings, look at other cars, or just drive that car around. And then for family vacations, something we do every year, we like to go camping. We every year we try and make it something we do. It doesn't matter where, as long as we go camping.
That sounds like fun. And are your camping trips just the two families, or do you have extended family that comes as well?
Yes, we do have Peterbows, but we also do have extended family because I believe that camping with more people makes it more fun because I like to do things with college groups.
Anything extraordinary ever happen at one of those trips?
I'm trying to think. Well, yes, there is one thing. So my brother Liam, he was a lot younger, a lot more not foolish, but confident in a way. So we go out to the lake and we have a paddleboard. And he's 10 or 11 right now, but he was 7 back then. And he went on the paddleboard and he got bare naked. Now, like, it wasn't in public, but it was out in the middle of the lake, so people were probably seeing him. And he was just paddleboarding out there naked, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, this is very embarrassing and kind of weird. But
It's,
but
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, thank you. So he didn't care though, because he's very confident in what he does. He does not care what other people think. He was like, "Oh, I'm just paddleboarding." I'm like, "You're naked." It's kind of weird, but
Well, Liam sounds like the typical middle child. As a middle child, I can attest to that. And you sound like the responsible oldest child.
well, that's true. Yeah.
Do you tell your siblings what to do often?
Yeah, sometimes it's a curse because I, feel that responsibility. Mom and dad are gone. Oh, I guess I'm in charge. And sometimes I get a bit too bossy. It's something I gotta work with. But sometimes I do have to be the one to tell people what to do because as the oldest, I have the most experience. And I tell them all the time, I know what's best. Well, I know what's better because I've experienced it. And sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. So
Isn't that terrible when your siblings don't listen to you?
very much.
It's just awful. Couple of last questions for you. You've talked about wanting to go on a mission. You've talked about wanting to go and finish your education at one of the BYUs, Brigham Young Universities. And then what? Do you have any ideas right now about what you might want to do as a profession?
Well, not really. There's some things that like my dad's an accountant, and so maybe something like that, something doing with accounting, or like I said, I really enjoy sports medicine. I might try to do something in that subject, but it could also change. It's just something I'm thinking right now, and it might change at the end of senior year. So who knows?
And what advice would you give to young people? Because you are a successful young man. You enjoy your family, you enjoy school, you're doing the things you want to do. What advice would you give to other young people your age on how to be a successful and happy person?
Well, I think the key to be happiness is to be yourself, and it's something I struggle with a lot as well. Because school, there's always like these, oh, you gotta act like this, or you gotta be cool like this to be able to be happy. And I don't think that's true, even though sometimes I follow it. I think by being yourself, I think by doing what you think you want to do, because sometimes like I have this problem where like everyone's always judging me. I think like, oh, Josh is doing this. Oh, why is he doing that? It's so weird. And it's usually never like that. Usually people don't care what you're doing. And so I think that can go with, people don't care how you act, and people probably actually admire you more by how you act, like how you are.
So just being really authentic.
Yes.
And my last question for you. Pretend like you are talking to your 80-year-old self or 90-year-old self. What would you want to tell yourself about what to remember in life, or what childhood was like for you, or what would you like to say to yourself 60, 70 years from now?
Well, one thing I would tell my future self would probably be, I assume future me's made a lot of mistakes. Either really bad or really not that bad. But I would tell them to forgive and move on. Like forgive, repent, and move on, because that's something I struggle with right now. Like the moving on part. Like I always forgive, but then I hold it and still myself. And I hope that future me will understand that if you forgive, if you ask for forgiveness and God forgives you, that's it. You don't gotta worry about it anymore. Just learn from it. And I hope that future me understands that too.
Thank you for letting us interview you, Josh, and for kind of being one of the first experiments at this podcast. We really appreciate you and the fact that you have joined us for Life Sketches.
Thank you.